Welcome back to the channel, fellow coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of American coinage, into a coin so small, so common, yet holding a value far beyond its humble face. It's the 2015 USA 1-cent penny with the Denver Mint mark. Yes, you heard that right, the Roosevelt D Mint penny. Now, at first glance, most people wouldn't look twice at a modern penny. It's that reddish-brown coin that jingles at the bottom of your pocket, often tossed aside, dropped in tip jars, or forgotten between couch cushions. But not today. Today, we're going to unearth the story behind one particular penny that's worth over 16,000 times its face value, $1.66, to be exact. Let's start with a little context, because the history of a coin is never just about metal, it's about the people, the time, and the silent stories that coins carry as they pass from hand to hand. The 2015 penny may look just like the billions of others produced in the modern era. But numismatics, the study of coins, is full of surprises. You see, even in mass production, anomalies happen. And sometimes, rarity isn't created by design, it's born out of error, oversight, or the briefest moment of imperfection in the minting process. The Denver Mint, where this coin was struck, is one of the key players in U.S. coin production. Opened in 1906, it has produced billions of coins each year. Its mint mark, a simple D, is tucked beneath the year on the coin, almost easy to miss if you're not looking for it. Yet, in the world of collecting, that tiny D can make all the difference. By 2015, this design had become the standard, and billions of these coins rolled off the presses. So why is one of them worth $166 today? That's where the story gets interesting. The 2015 D Lincoln penny that we're talking about today has captured the attention of collectors for a few different reasons. First, let's talk about potential errors and varieties. Some 2015 D pennies exhibit unusual die cracks, doubled dies, off-center strikes, or unusual plating bubbles. These small errors might seem insignificant to the average person, but in the eyes of a collector, they're the fingerprints of the minting process, rare and valuable. Now, not every 2015 D penny is valuable. In fact, most of them, hundreds of millions, are worth exactly 1 cent. But specific ones, in exceptional condition, can demand high prices. The penny we're spotlighting today isn't valuable because of a dramatic error, but because of its exceptional preservation and demand among collectors. Out of hundreds of millions of pennies minted in 2015 at the Denver Mint, only a tiny fraction are graded at MS68 red. And because collectors often chase the highest graded examples for their collections, demand drives up the price. This is how a 1-cent coin becomes a collectible item worth over $150. But there's more. The story behind any valuable coin isn't just in its grade, it's in its journey. Think about how many hands a typical penny touches. How many parking meters it's fed. How many kids drop them into gumball machines or leave them in their piggy banks. For a coin to survive in pristine condition from the moment it was minted, through packaging, transport, and handling, it's a miracle of sorts. It's this thrill of the hunt that drives so much of coin collecting. You never know what treasure might be hidden in plain sight. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, it's worth far more than you'd ever guess. Let's take a moment to think about how many people overlook the humble penny. In an era where digital payments dominate and spare change is often seen as a nuisance, the penny is on the verge of being forgotten. There have been calls to eliminate the penny altogether, citing its low purchasing power and high production cost. In fact, it costs more than a cent to make each penny. But for collectors, the penny is a gateway, a starting point, a tradition, and in rare cases like this, a hidden gem. The 2015 D penny reminds us to look closer. To dig deeper. To pay attention to the tiny things, because even the smallest object can hold surprising value. Let's talk about how you might find a valuable 2015 D penny yourself. First, condition is everything. You'll want to look through uncirculated rolls if possible. These are rolls of coins that have never been used in everyday commerce. You can buy them online or at coin shops, or sometimes even request them from your local bank. Look for coins with full luster, no scratches, no blemishes, and sharp detail, and here's something else to keep in mind: values fluctuate. As more high-grade examples are discovered, the value can go down. But if fewer are found, and demand continues, prices can climb even higher. The $166 sale we're talking about? That was a snapshot in time. It reflects what a collector was willing to pay at that moment for a top-tier coin. In the future, that number could go up, or down. What makes coins like this even more exciting is the mystery that surrounds them. We'll never know exactly why that particular 2015 D penny stayed in perfect condition. We'll never know its entire journey. But we do know this: it's real, it's out there, and it could just as easily have ended up in your pocket as anyone else's. So the next time you get change at the store, or cash in a jar of coins, take a closer look. That 2015 D penny might not just be a penny. It might be a story, a treasure, or a ticket into the fascinating world of numismatics. In the vast universe of coins, there are stories that often go untold. Small, copper discs passed through countless hands, sitting in pockets, jars, and drawers, unnoticed and uncelebrated. But every now and then, a coin tells a story so rich, so full of history and mystery, that it begs to be remembered. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into one such coin, the 1976 United States 1-cent penny bearing the D mint mark. A coin so ordinary in appearance, yet so extraordinary in value and significance, that collectors across the country keep their eyes peeled for it. To understand why this coin matters, we need to step back in time. The year is 1976, the United States is celebrating its bicentennial. 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It's a year filled with patriotic pride, with parades marching through small towns, fireworks lighting up the sky, and a renewed fascination with American history. It was also a year when Americans, still recovering from the aftermath of Vietnam and grappling with economic change, found small symbols of national pride in the everyday, even in their coins. But this particular penny, the one minted in Denver, marked with a small but meaningful D beneath the date, holds a quiet power all its own. More than 4.2 billion pennies were minted in Denver that year. Yes, you heard that right, over 4 billion. So how could one of them, seemingly just like the others, rise in value from 1 cent to an incredible $1.62? The answer lies in the details. And for coin collectors, it always does. First, let's look at the composition. In 1976, the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies in the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy, a composition that had been standard since 1962. That makes these coins heavier than modern pennies and richer in color, with a deeper, more reddish tone when freshly minted. Over time, this copper surface reacts with the environment, developing beautiful patinas that make each penny visually unique. And this physicality alone makes the coin stand out, especially compared to today's lighter, zinc core coins. Now, the design of the coin may seem unremarkable at first glance, but in numismatics, small imperfections or variations can change everything. One of the key points of interest with the 1976 D penny lies in die errors and variations, those subtle anomalies that happen during the minting process, creating coins that are one of a kind. Collectors call them varieties, and they are gold mines for those in the know. But rarity isn't the only reason this coin has risen in value. It's also about preservation. Most 1976 D pennies were, naturally, used. They passed through vending machines, bus fare boxes, lunch counters, and more. They were carried in wallets, dropped on sidewalks, forgotten in parking meters. A coin that survives nearly 50 years in pristine condition is remarkable in itself. Especially when it has never been circulated, never used at all, and here's where things get exciting. One such 1976 D penny, graded in superb mint state condition, recently sold at auction for a stunning $162. That's 16,200 times its face value. A coin you might have walked past on the street or tossed in a change jar without a second thought, now elevated to the status of a collectible gem. So how does a penny end up with such value? Part of it is the convergence of rarity and condition. The specific coin that fetched $162 was not only in exceptional condition but also had characteristics that collectors prize, possibly a variety or error, possibly a particularly sharp strike with minimal blemishes. The coin market thrives on these unique combinations, and of course, demand plays a role too. As more collectors enter the hobby, particularly younger generations drawn to coin hunting videos and social media posts, demand for interesting or unique coins continues to grow. The more eyes that are searching, the more valuable standout coins become. Now, you might be wondering, could I have one of these coins? Is there a 1976 D penny hiding in my coin jar, waiting to be discovered? It's very possible. That's the magic of coin collecting. Unlike rare stamps or vintage cars, coins are accessible. They're right in front of us. They pass through our lives every day. The thrill of the hunt is real, and it's part of what keeps collectors searching. The 1976 D penny reminds us of a time when America was looking back and looking forward at the same time. It's a coin that links past to present, a small, copper witness to a nation's 200th birthday and everything that came with it. And for one lucky collector, it was also a coin worth well over $100 that in the end, it's not just about the money. It's about the history. The detail. The stories. The fact that something so small can carry such meaning. So the next time you get change at the grocery store, or stumble upon an old jar of coins in the attic, take a second look. That 1976 D penny might be worth far more than you think. Because yes, while most 1976 D pennies are still worth just a cent, a rare few, especially those in near-perfect condition, have been known to sell for upwards of $162. And who knows? The next one might just be in your pocket.